Hey y'all, this is TheSouthernSimm again with you with another speed build. I call this one my Beachfront Beauty. So I have been really diligently trying to improve my building style because I want to be able to do a lot of those things that I've got in my head that I just can't do because I'm not sure how to do it. So I have been watching a lot of Kate Emerald. If you have never seen her channel, I would really advise you to check her out because the idea of this pool here actually was from watching one of her videos because she was teaching how to do the pool in the deep water of the ocean in Sulani. So of course, as you can tell, that's where we're building it. In the same lot I did the last build. So I went through a lot of things. I was trying to change things I didn't really like. And I mean, it is a process when you're building because especially if you don't have an idea exactly, like you don't have something to go by, you only have what's in your head. So I was just trying to do the best I could to come out with something that looked unique, that didn't look like a box. Yes, that's one of her videos, how to make your house not look like a box. Check her out, I'm telling you. I mean, I've learned a lot, let's put it that way, and I'm planning on continuing to watch. So Kate, if you're watching this, thanks. We really appreciate all your attention to detail and trying to help us to understand how to do what you do. So thanks again. But yeah, this was just neat. I decided to try to do something like this, but then after I got it out here, I was like, well, I don't know. So I kept on until I decided to do something completely different here. After I did this, I think this is considered a pergola, an awning, something like that. But anyway, it's a neat little way to add something else extra to your build, and you can put flowers over it, which gives you kind of a shade as well. But I go through different color changes, trying to use mostly the stuff from Island Living, but of course there's so many stuff out there that just you decide to go ahead and change and use something else that might fit better. But I did do the best I could because I love a lot of the stuff you get with Island Living. It's just really good, nice texture, look to it. Like when I added these to it, because I didn't think it looked good just to leave that blank. It had to be sitting on something to have support. So that's what I did. I decided to add those there so it would be support, and it also looks nice. But I wanted to get this, just what I had, was coming up with, is thinking as I went along, and the railing I decided to go with that same color in the front, but as you will see toward the end of the build, I changed that. I changed it to a darker color because I had to add something, and it just, when I was doing my layout, after I got everything situated the way I wanted, when I was doing my layout, I was like, well, got back outside, and I was like, this doesn't look right. And for some reason, I could not get it to change to the stilts. I don't know why it wasn't working, it just wouldn't let me. So later on, you see me change the front part of the house back into like stone. So I decided to do the stone, what came with Island Living, for the bottom. So that way, it would just look like a, stone. That way it would be okay in the water. Because you wouldn't want to put something that was like just, cement, because probably water would make it break down over time. But here, I actually did this in 2 parts. Because I couldn't, it was late, and so I was laying out just some stuff here real quick, trying to decide what I wanted to do, so that way I could jump back onto it the next morning to finish. So you'll see me here in a minute lay a bunch of stuff in different rooms so I can come back to it the next day, which I did. I finished it this morning, and got it all situated the way I wanted, decorated. Now the master bedroom and bathroom or the bathroom is a little smaller than the rest of the other bathrooms. But that's just the way the layout went, and I changed this later because I decided I didn't like it. But it's just the way the layout went, and so I decided to go with it that way. You could always redo this yourself, rebuild it, and and make that bigger. It's just I wanted the kitchen over here where I'm putting it at now, and then put a dining room table, which that table I picked evidently was not what I was looking for. So it must be a coffee table or something. I'm not sure, but I had to go back and find something else. I mean, I like the color of that right there. I should have used it as a table somewhere else. I'll have to use that in a future build or something, because that is a really pretty table with the two different colors, the two-tone. So we're actually in the second part where I started on it this morning, but because it's now in the evening and I'm trying to get my voiceover done for this video. But I like that rug for island living, but it just didn't set, and I just didn't like the way it looked with the fabric. So I went with this polka dot. It kind of just brings out something else, and I made the floor really dark when I started putting the flooring in and stuff. And it's with any build, it's just a process. You have to go through it, and if you don't like it as you go along, then you just have to change it. And so my layout here, I was trying to figure out how I wanted it, and as it came about, I was like, well, this is not so bad. And I know this is going to be a strange thing, but you're going to see me here in a little bit, because I didn't like leaving this room without a window. And so, because it didn't let any natural light come into the room without a window. So, and I didn't want to have to try to redo the roof to do that. So what I decided to do was I took one of those little tiny windows that is really thin but really long or really wide. So I put one of those in there to kind of let some light come in from those front doors there. So that way it wouldn't be so closed in, so boxed in, because I know for me, I'm a little claustrophobic and I don't want to be in a closed area. So usually I try to make sure that there's a window. So I decided to put that window in this room. That way we wouldn't have any Sims who are claustrophobic. Ha ha ha. Anyway, I'm just trying to get the layout here. I decided to put a grand piano in the front right there, so that way when you walk right in the house, you see this big, beautiful white grand piano, because one of the characters that I chose, one of the people that I've got here in this particular house, she is an artist, and I assume that most artists like more than one thing. They don't just do painting, or they don't just do writing. There's more than one aspect to what they like to do. So I decided to put her a grand piano in, and there's also a violin that I put in there as well. So that way she can learn to play the violin, she can learn to play the piano, she can paint. Because I put a painting easel out toward the back of the lot so she can look and get some inspiration from the ocean. But this was really, really, I really enjoyed putting this all together from what I was trying to accomplish, because as I said earlier at the beginning, I did not want it to look like a box. I want it to look interesting, because that's my goal, is that it looks interesting, and because if it's interesting enough, then someone else might find it interesting. And this one I discovered right here is I had the wrong table, but it is what it is. But if you find it interesting enough, you're like, ooh, I like it, I want to download this to use in my game. And then I was able to create something that someone enjoyed, and it made them happy, and so it makes me happy. So that was another reason why I decided to really go ahead and bite the bullet and really try to start the YouTube channel, because I wanted to share, because I like to paint, I like to draw, well, I used to like to draw when I was a teenager in high school, but in this day and age, I don't do as much drawing as I do just playing around The Sims, building the houses, what comes into my mind, what I want to bring to life, so to speak, as you could say. I decided to make this little tiny room. It looks like it would be really good for a bathroom, but I decided to turn it into a small office because I didn't want the office out here. And I was going to do it like that, those chairs right there, but I just could not do that because I thought it was too cluttered, didn't look right, it didn't flow right, so I had to rearrange. And I changed the colors too because I didn't like the colors of those chairs. It just didn't go, it all didn't flow. I wanted it to flow so it would look good. And of course I changed that couch because that just didn't go in my theory of flowing, all the flowiness, so your Sims feel like it's a happy place, so to speak, if you want to think of it that way. But where I'm almost at the end of the video, and I'm just gonna get this. The last part here was the bathroom and just a few odds and ends. I did put some. I went ahead and got some furniture out on the front part of the deck. I think that's when I actually start to change that. My brain work. The railing there. That's when I actually changed that. Is when I came outside because I realized it wasn't going to work when I went back outside. I realized when I changed all the rooms and stuff and how the layout was, things just didn't look right. As you'll see, see, and I couldn't change it. It wouldn't let me, but it would let me change it to that. So I changed it, the back side and around the underneath the house to that like rock look. So just fixing a few things, coming in, putting some plants and stuff, just making sure everything looks good, just those finishing touches and stuff. Hey guys, if you don't like it exactly the way I put it, download it and make it your own. I know I've told you this 1,000 times, or a bunch of times at least. That might be a little bit of an exaggeration there. But make it your own. Have fun with this. It's just for one person's interpretation. I may interpret it this way, but you can interpret it totally different. So have fun with it. If you do, please share it with me. I'd love to see, your take on it. But I'm going to go ahead and leave you with the screenshots here now. I thank you for your time. I thank you for everything, for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, because every like, share, and subscribe definitely helps my channel to grow. And I look forward to seeing you all in my next video. Bye, y'all.